Welcome to NJ and Fry. Of course, I'm NJ and she's Fry. So this is our first session of all things life and business, and we're excited to have you with us. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Sandra's going to share a little bit about her, and then we have some things we want to talk about. And I have a question. My friend LaShawn, which some of you met earlier this week, had this conversation about ladies and their girls and hair. So I want to have a really brief chat about hair and the girls. Guys might not like that topic, but it's a real thing. It's a thing for ladies. How does that work out? So I'm NJ with njstevenson.com and also with ebbiestouch.com. I am a Dallas, Texas-based commercial photographer and business and project manager. So you can find information about me online. Sandra, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, tell us about yourself.
I'm Sandra Fry. I'm with Fry & Company. I'm in a partnership with my daughter, Casey Fry. She's not, for the sake of this live, she's not going to be on this live with us today, but I'm a business strategist, and I also am a licensed life insurance agent.
Yeah.
And
I forgot about that.
Yes.
We're both licensed insurance agents, and I forgot about that.
And I'm also a independent consultant with Ambit Energy.
Okay. What does a business strategist do?
We help people create their systems, lay out their systems and their strategy.
Okay.
To get their business more streamlined.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Sandra said business strategist and I said business and project manager. And we actually do the same thing. We have different titles for it, but that's something we talk about in VSP Odyssey a lot, is titles don't matter.
It's true.
Yeah, people don't care about titles.
No, they care about what you can do.
Yeah, what you can do for them. Sandra brought up a topic that I really want to dive into about we make ourselves what we are. So tell us about that and lead us into that.
We were having a whole lot of fun before NJ took us live, talking about a couple of different things. And one of the topics that came up was we make ourselves who we are. A lot of people, you see it a lot more nowadays than I think you used to. Before NJ took us live.
Go ahead. That was just my phone.
They want to blame other people or other things, even objects, I guess, for not being able to go where they should go in life or where they want to go. You know, it's a lot of, oh, I wish I could do that, but this is holding me back, or this person's holding me back, or you know, I can't do it because 25 years ago this happened, you know. So I see a lot of that, and I think we need to remember we have the choice to change our situation at any time, and we make ourselves who we are, and it is a choice. So if we're allowing something, if something's holding us back, we're allowing it to happen.
Do you think people feel helpless, or that they don't have the strength to not allow it?
Well, that's a possibility, that some people don't have the strength, the stamina to push through, maybe. I mean, we're going to come across difficult times. We all have, you know, I know you've had it, I've had difficult times.
Yeah.
You have to work yourself through it.
I'll share a situation that I have with someone, because I do consulting and coaching. So in this situation, the person had a challenging upbringing with their father, right? And it's been over 40 years that the excuses of, well, you don't know what happened to me, you don't know what my dad said to me, all those kinds of things that have held them back in life. So how do you break out of that? If that's the case, if you can actually make yourself what you want to be, and you have these circumstances, because some people have things that are traumatic that happen to them, how do you break out of it? How do you go to the next level? How do you do it? It's one thing to talk about it, it's another to do it. And if you're in the audience and you're listening, tell us how you think, what would a person do?
That's a good question. I think the first thing is you have to be aware that you're the reason you're not going forward in life.
Mm,
It can be that you need to forgive so you can move forward. And forgiveness is for ourselves, not for someone else.
this is so true.
I've talked about that on my page. You can forgive somebody and they may not even know you've forgiven them.
Right.
It's inside you. You allow yourself to move forward at that point. If you can forgive and let go of it. I mean, it's not saying that it's okay for it to happen again.
Yeah.
You're saying that you're moving past it. You're ready to move on and do something else with your focus, your energy.
Yeah. I like that. And I think that's a really huge part of it, because from what I've seen, for myself included, because I've had a lot of things happen, I could have taken those things and said, oh, this happened to me. I don't talk about it a lot. Things even like domestic violence and leaving an entire state to go to another state. Those are things I don't share a lot about, because a lot of people can't handle that kind of stuff. So I just go on with life, just go on. But I think it's easy to latch on to your trauma. It's very easy to latch onto your trauma and let that be a reason that you don't progress past where you are. Like I've seen someone that had trauma happen when, let's say they were 12. And when you meet them, they're still in that place of being that 12-year-old. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like in their head, they're still acting like the wounded 12-year-old. I should write a book called The Wounded 12-Year-Old.
There you go.
Had a good time. Yeah.
Make sure you do your hair first.
Oh, well, not me, but I mean,
That's a joke.
yeah. Do my hair first. That's a thing though, because I think people get stuck. Wherever your trauma happened, a lot of people get stuck in that time warp. It's kind of like a time warp. Like I was 15 when this happened, and that's where you're stuck at in that moment or in that event.
And they can't grow up. They can't grow up within themselves.
Yes, that's what that.
So therefore they can't grow and move forward.
Exactly.
You can't be a 45-year-old if you're still being a 12-year-old,
Wow.
whatever.
That's powerful. I need to write that. We need to write that book. Yeah. You can't be both. You can't be this little kid and this grown up adult at the same time. So there's a war going on, right?
Yeah.
There's a battle, an inner battle that's going on. I'm still trying to grow up, but yet I'm physically or chronologically grown up. I like that, because when you start thinking about business, that can really hurt you, because both of us have our own businesses. We're service providers, right? We work from home. That can really hurt you because you keep making excuses for why you're not going forward, or at least trying.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, are you going to try or what? Well,
And
no.
I don't want to make light. I don't want to make light of trauma that people have dealt with. I've had my own things in life, and I actually had I'm not going to get into any detail with it, but I had an incident that went on for years with somebody, and it took me a long time to forgive that person and move forward. And but it was an amazing experience when I decided
Mm-hmm.
forgive and not let that hold me back any longer.
Right.
Basically,
Right.
I was letting it stop me.
You took your power.
Yes.
You took your power back from the thing, whatever that thing was. Deanna said, forgiveness, I agree, is a big part. I use EFT tapping myself and with clients to help the nervous system reset from trauma, a way to manage and get control back. So that's the method that she uses. Now, I am a prayer person, so I use prayer, meditation, and that for me, because I've had to walk through some instances of forgiveness myself, been through a bunch of stuff like you were sharing, but you have to take your personal power back. I feel this way. If you give your power to someone else, whether it was a parent, whether it was a spouse, partner, whoever it is, you just give your power away and allow them. I call it the yo-yo effect. You guys remember, some of you remember yo-yos. They're not as big as they used to be back in the day. And you put the thing on your finger and they have
Yeah.
this trick called around the world. I never could do it, but they have this thing where you send a yo-yo out and you do like this and it goes around the world. That's the way I feel like sometimes we allow others to take our power and just manipulate us in that way. This is my stance, and Sandra can share hers. I don't want anybody on this earth, not another human being, to have that type of power over me,
Great.
over my mind, and over my being. I don't ever want that. So I don't know how Sandra feels about that, but that's me. So
Absolutely.
yeah. What, other than counseling, are there any things that, because a lot of people are not going to go to counseling for whatever reason, especially men, that's been my experience. I don't know what it is about males and counseling. Some will go, but some are, especially, and I'm going to say this, men of color in counseling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a very, very hard thing. So they, I guess, maybe have this stigma or something on it. So it's really hard. And if you're listening and you are a man of color, talk to me about it, because I want to know. That it's kind of like, well, no, I'm not going to go to counseling. Yeah, you might want to try that. But
yeah, we'd love to hear different opinions.
Yeah, I would too, but some people are not going to go to counseling because they're embarrassed. They don't want anybody to know or perceive that something's wrong. My life is perfect. Everything is in order. I'm not going to counseling. The phrase that I hear is, I'm not going to talk to a stranger about my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, what else should they do? You have
I
tips.
think we've been set up for that, put out a perfect image, to not show any faults or flaws. Excuse me.
Yeah, Sandra's getting over a bug. It's that time of year for allergies. Should we talk about allergies? No, because that's a whole topic of conversation by itself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, besides counseling, I think it's important, first of all, to surround yourself with good people, that you can talk to, people you feel you can share with.
Mm-hmm.
And that might not be everybody in your life. You might not be able to share your issues with everybody. I don't know.
I think so.
That's a good question. I'd love to hear what some other people have to say about that, really.
Yeah, if you're on, and we do have some people on, share with us in the comments what your suggestions are, or things that you've tried that have worked for you. I would suggest that you journal. There are some people that are not comfortable talking about these situations openly to anyone, even someone that they love. Grab yourself a notebook and a pen. And one thing about that paper, you can tell that paper anything you want, and it will not tell a soul. So even if that means you destroy it later, you can pour out of yourself into a journal, and you don't have to keep the journal if you're afraid your innermost secrets are going to be read by someone. It's just emptying it out, So that's one of the methods that you can use to kind of help you think through some things and help you come to terms. That and being honest about it. Because what I've discovered is when people do have, I call it excuse-itis. I made up a name for it because that's how I roll. When the people do have excuse-itis, I think it's really important to, even if you're not openly being honest about it yet, tell yourself the truth, because that's where the problems are starting at. It's what you are saying to you. Well, I can't do this because of this. It's how you're talking to yourself. So even if you're journaling and you can be honest with yourself just for a minute, then you can make some progress.
And that goes back to being aware. You have to know that you're doing it.
Yeah. So, but I think if you start journaling, you'll start seeing a pattern, because everything that you're writing down is going to start pointing back to, well, I can't do this because my childhood was this. Well, I can't do that because they didn't buy me. I literally have people that have said their life is a wreck because their parents didn't buy them a bike. Or,
oh my goodness.
their parents didn't give them a birthday party. I mean, so in it all, they got wounded. The soul of a person can be wounded by very small things, very little things especially when we're kids, right?
Mhm.
And our emotions aren't mature yet. We don't have that ability to be emotionally intelligent because we're children. So then that you get wounded inside. Well, you didn't buy me a bike for my birthday. I wanted a bike. And you suck over that all the way into adulthood.
Yes. Yes, I agree. And that when you're a child, that small thing seems very, very large. It's a mountain. But as you grow up and you mature, it really diminishes. But if you have it in your mind, if you're that 12-year-old, if you're that 45 with that 12-year-old mindset or that 12-year-old thought, you're not letting that mountain shrink.
So I think that happens a lot. And it spills over into business.
Mm-hmm.
It spills over into the business thing. So Deanna said, yes, writing and methods of trauma release that move or involve the body. So she's got some techniques and she's sharing in the comments, but Sandra, how do you work through, let's say counseling is out. Let's say you never do counseling for anything. Do you have some at-home things that you would suggest?
I do a lot of personal growth for myself. So that in itself, like I do a lot of reading and listening to audiobooks. So that in itself has helped me.
How do you know what to read?
I don't really want to call it meditation, but maybe in a sense it is because I reflect on what I've read.
Mm-hmm.
How do I know what to read?
Meditation?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't like to read anything like I like to stay on the more positive side of things. So I like to read things that's making me think in a way that I don't normally think, maybe.
Mm-hmm. So you like to read things that challenge your thought process?
Yes, you could say it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That expand your thought process.
Yeah.
That help you think differently. I understand. Yeah, me too. And I really like to read things like Deanna's sharing in the comments. I like to read other perspectives too. I have my perspective. I'm not a what do they call it? A spring chicken. So what I do works for me, and I know it works for me.
Right.
Although someone else may have a different process and method, I don't discount that as working for them. Like I wouldn't be able to do as much reading as you do on personal development. I need more meditation. So we're all wired differently.
Sure.
I need more prayer and meditation because otherwise I would be reading and not applying. I have to have that come out of me that say, here, do this, do that. I have to get that motivation. So it's a different strategy. Hi, Tracy.
You're not a spring chicken. You kind of gave us away when you were talking about the yo-yo.
Oh,
don't you think?
That's funny. Hey,
you did.
And lemon twist and hopscotch, dodgeball, all good stuff. That kept kids outside.
Yeah.
Out of the electronics.
Today, I don't know how many kids today know what a yo-yo is.
That's funny. Or jacks. We used to play jacks.
Yeah, the jacks.
I have jacks, by the way. I literally have jacks in a ball.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know what that is, that's the kind of stuff that we used to actually go outside and do and have fun and get exercise in while having fun. So jump rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's giving away our age.
Yeah.
We're about the same age, so
they're gonna have to go look it up. If they don't know, they'll have to go look it up. So Tracy, that's on now, Tracy Williams gave me a lemon twist. I still have my lemon twist around here somewhere. She gave me a couple of lemon twists, and I actually pulled a tendon? Yeah, jumping it, and I hurt my foot and had to get medical attention.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Because I hadn't done it in so long and I didn't warm up properly. I did the research after I hurt myself. You got to warm up. You can't just jump into doing this stuff If you
I'd
haven't
probably
seen-
pull a tendon if I tried to use a hula hoop. Try to throw my back out or something.
I forgot about hula hoop.
That's a thing though, again, the hula hoop has come back and people are, have you seen the hoopers they call the hoopsters?
No. Is that a
Hoopsters.
group?
No, they call themselves the hoopers or hoopsters. I can't remember.
That's funny.
But they do exercise. That's actually an exercise thing with the hula hoop.
Yeah, Tracy said, yeah, you still have the lemon twist. I do have it here somewhere because I had a couple of them. And after I messed my foot up, I stopped trying to do it.
You could demonstrate for us.
No, that's okay. I also have some skates in the garage, and I'm so afraid I'm going to bust my bottom that I won't get on the skates.
Yeah,
I'm really afraid. So I need somebody to hold on to because I haven't done it in so long.
yeah. I haven't roller skated in a long time.
So but that's one of the things that I tried to do when I was young that I could never master. And I still have this yearning desire to learn how to skate. I just couldn't do it.
I could roller skate. I could never ice skate. I can't ice skate.
Yeah, that's scary. How do they stay up on that one little blade?
I don't know. I could never do it. My dad used to take us when my sister and I were little, and I could just never do it.
That's funny. Yeah, I would love to be able to skate though. I think it's good exercise. I think it's fun. So,
Yeah.
versus going to the gym, I'd rather just be skating.
Yes. I'd rather be outside
Yeah.
than
So-
go to the gym for sure. Definitely.
Sandra's like, for sure.
For
So
sure. For sure.
one of the other things that we talked about is collaboration. That's a topic that Sandra had. And I want to talk about Mother's Day. So let's talk about collaboration real quick. What made you think of that?
Just that I've seen a lot of collaboration lately, especially among women. I think it's become a real thing among women to come together and work together.
Mm,
And NJ has those of us that are in the VSPO group. NJ has some of us in a content and visibility challenge, and she gave us a little bit of a competition. So there's a few. I'm going to bring this up because I'm hoping Faith Ann is watching, because there's a few in the group that are collaborating to gain extra points.
Sandra is so tickled about that. They're bringing it on. They're bringing the heat, huh?
There she is. She's on fire. She's on fire. It cracks me up.
They're bringing the heat. So let me elaborate on that. I have a 30-day content and visibility sprint that we're doing. It is a premium sprint, but the participants in the sprint right now, they also have inside of that a 2-week period where they can win a prize, and you score points. As you do different things, you score points and we punch your card. It's a virtual card. So there's a particular person in there. I'm going to call her name, Faith Ann, and Faith Ann is on fire. She wants the top tier points, and she's competitive. She's like telling everybody, I'm coming for you. You're going down.
Yeah.
You're not going to be up there long. And Sandra was in
I'm on her hit list.
Yeah. Sandra's on the hit list because Sandra was in the lead yesterday, and Faith is like, oh, you're not going to be in the lead for long. So she's really bringing it on, and that's cracking Sandra up.
Yes. She's so cute. It makes me laugh. She's just so cute. And she tags me in all these posts. You're going down. You're going down. It's just so funny.
Sandra's like, but I'm not even competitive.
I'm not. I was just having fun with it.
Yeah, I'm not even competitive. She's like, you're still going down.
Yeah, she's still after me.
Yeah, so she's on fire though. I'm very excited about that. Just to say a little bit about the sprint, it's coming to a close here this month. Oh, she's on there laughing. Faith is on, yeah, she's laughing.
She's watching us.
To say a little bit about the sprint, it's a content and visibility sprint. And the reason that I did it, a lot of people were asking me, which we'll talk about collaboration. Well, how do you come up with this content? We we like the content in your group, and how do you do it? It's not like some of the content in other groups. So what I'm teaching is how I do content, giving some of, that knowledge base away to where your content is uniquely your own. You can have the same basis or subject matter as someone else, but you can take it and make it your own. So they're really focusing on that. Some people thought it would be very businessy and not fun and no personality. It's not like that at all.
Nope, we've had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, so that's what the sprint is about. And this one closes, and then the next doors, this is what May, the next one will probably open in July. So if you're interested, let me know. But that's what we're, Faith, you laughing at Sandra. But that leads into collaboration, because like Sandra said, people are starting to come together. Yeah, and there's a lot to collaboration, but I also teach that you have to do it in order, because you can also get messed up. There's the good in business collaboration, and then there's the bad. You have to kind of watch out. What would be some things that people would need to watch out for if they were going to do a business venture, not like inside of the sprint, but what do you think?
Well, you have to have a plan, obviously, a plan of action. If you didn't, it's just, it's anything goes, I guess. but then there's also, you have to be careful of jealousy, I think, in something like that too.
Wow.
No, that's a dirty word, isn't it? I don't like jealousy, but I think you do have to be careful with that when you come with working with people. And also different personalities. Like, there are some personalities that maybe can't work together.
That's true.
And you may not be aware of that until you actually come together and try to work together. That you may have a different, not that you can't work together, but you have a different approach to how you approach work. Yeah.
When Sandra and I decided to do this, I pitched it to her when we decided to do NJ and Fry. And one of the reasons that I pitched it to her is because she says not all the time. I said, Sandra, you're so nice, and you have this well-grounded perspective, and I'm just like, boom, So I feel like we bring balance to each other, And she's like, no, I'm not always nice.
And just a lot of like, just do it.
Yeah.
Do what you have to do, just do it.
Yeah.
And I'm
like, Sandra's a lot more level-headed. Mm-hmm. I am a just do it kind of person. And it definitely, I'm not the type of person that would minimize trauma, because I've had so much myself. But I hate to see people just be stuck.
Yeah.
That hurts my heart to say, okay, you're stuck. And in my mind, I'm thinking, you can come out. Now, is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy, but you can absolutely do it. So that's the part, I think, is the difference between thinking I can't do it and I can do it. It's going to be hard. It's really just that.
And I think sometimes, though, that it's easier to see it when you're standing back from it.
Yeah.
I might be stuck in something, and you can see that it's easy for me to get out of it, but I can't see it.
Yeah, because you're too close.
And then the other way around, I might be able to see that you're stuck in something, and you think you can't come out of it, but I think you can.
Yeah. My client consultant coach, and he's my consultant coach and doesn't know it, so don't anybody tell him. Landon Porter, he always saying, I'm not in your forest. That's his saying is, well, just tell me all the things, because I'm not in your forest. I can see what you can't see because you're too close. You're too close to it. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. I never really had anybody. I have never had anyone in my life to, all of my traumatic things and stuff, to pull me out of that. I had to pull myself out. I had to want to come out on my own. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I had to say to myself, this is not what I want for me. And because I'm also a mother, it's coming up, to Mother's Day. I don't want this for me. I don't want this for my child. Right. So I had to pull myself out of it and take the steps to pull myself out of it. Someone asked me a question once. They were like, well, NJ, how how is it that you do all of these things afraid? And I was explaining to them, it's because I had a child and I didn't want all of these negative things for my child. Sometimes it depends on what's motivating you.
True.
You know, like,
What challenges you though?
yeah,
What challenges you?
yeah. What challenges me?
Yeah.
That's a good question. And I'm going to say something that a lot of people probably won't understand. I'll let you guys that don't understand stew on it, and those that do get it, you'll get it. I wake up every morning ready to die. So when you ask me what challenges me, whatever's going to happen that day, I'm ready to take it on. I am ready to take it on. And I realize for myself that there's probably not going to be anything coming that I can't walk through. Is it going to be hard to walk through it? That's the way I wake up and I think, I don't know what today is going to bring, but whatever it is, if I'm still alive, I'm going to walk through it. Is it going to be hard? That's just how I think. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some people are not going to understand that. So when you say what challenges me, I just wake up thinking, I don't know what today is going to hold. I may get in my car and go to the grocery store. An accident may happen that may change my life forever. Whatever happens, I'm going to walk through it. That's just where I am in my head and in my heart. So I'm like, I'll handle it. If I'm still breathing, I'm going to handle it.
Okay.
What choice do you have? So you have this choice of, this happened to me and I'm not going to handle it. I'm just going to fold up, or this happened to me and now I need to decide what my next thing
What
is.
the next step is. Yeah.
What my next step is. So we all think differently. Hey, Courtney. Hey, Andrew. I have to decide what my next step is. So it could be people lose limbs. You know, you go to grocery store. Next thing you know, your legs are gone because you got an accident. What are you going to do? You can fold up or you can rise up.
Yeah.
Was it Maya Angelou that wrote Yet I Rise? You know, so you have choices. Same thing you were talking about earlier is we make ourselves who we are. That's why you have the Special Olympics. That's why it's there. Those are people that chose to continue living life despite whatever circumstance they were facing. And they decided, you know, this is my circumstance. I'm gonna excel in it. Yeah. So that's what challenges me, or that's what motivates or pushes me is, yeah. And mostly because, and I know everybody didn't have this, me growing up, my mother used to always say, the man that didn't have any shoes complained until he met a man with no feet. She used to always say that. So I grew up hearing my mother say that. And that just kind of grew up in me that, you know, we all have something we could complain about until we meet somebody that has it worse.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah. So that's my premise for life is whatever it is I'm going through, somebody else has it worse off than me. And so she used to sing this song. I'm not going to sing it. I could sing it, but I'm not going to sing it. She used to sing this song about God hasn't promised me sunshine, but a little rain mixed with the sunshine. And so she used to walk through the house singing that song, that nobody promised us that every day was going to be awesome. And
yeah,
you know, who told us that? So
society taught us that.
Yeah, well, it's not true.
No, it's not true.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. When things happen to me, or when, you know, when I'm having a bad day, whatever, I take the same kind of perspective. There's other people that have it a lot worse.
Yeah.
You know, and then I stop and try to be grateful for what I do have. Even the challenges, because sometimes, you know, you learn through your challenges. You know, you get into a challenge and you learn through it.
Yeah. It's funny you asked that question because most people think, I get especially in my group, Well, NJ's not afraid of anything. NJ's just as afraid of everything as the next person. I always say this. It's not that I'm not afraid of anything. It's just that I feel like individuals, people, us, we have choices. I can sit back and be afraid. Ooh, I'm afraid. Or I can face it. And it's my choice to make. So it's my choice. And I don't want my life to be where I'm sitting back and so afraid to do anything that I stunt my own growth.
That you stop experiencing life.
That I stop experiencing life. I'm not growing. I'm sitting back thinking about all the traumatic things that happened to me as a, in this way. And it's my choice.
Yeah.
Which goes back to what you said. We make ourselves
who we are. Yeah.
Who we are. I've chosen not to be a product of my past. You get to choose if you're going to be a product of your past.
Yeah, that's true.
You know how they say you're a product of your environment? I think there's a saying that says you're a product of your environment. And in some ways that's true, but it doesn't have to be. If you came from a negative environment, it doesn't have to be. Like when you look at the people like Maya Angelou, locked in closets, and then they go on to Excel, and Oprah talks about her being molested and things like that. You don't have to be a product of your past. It's a choice.
Yeah. And we do create I think we create our current environment though. We create our current environment. If your home, like just take your home, for instance, if your home is happy, you make it that way. If it's not, you make it that way. That's on a simplistic idea of it, but we do create our own environment.
I believe in that. If you can't have peace in your own home, there's a problem. Like, because you bring peace to your home, it's your home environment. So I do believe in that. Even like you can have a spouse that is unpeaceful, but you have to learn how to escape into yourself. That's a good topic because I'm married, Sandra's married. You have to learn how to escape into yourself when you're in an environment like that, where the other person may be bitter or they're having those struggles. You still got to have your safe zone. And sometimes the safe zone is in you, if you guys understand what I'm saying, because your partner or your spouse, they may not be satisfied, and they may be the type of dramatic person that's always arguing, fussing about something. So you have to find that place inside of yourself to have peace. Yeah. So what else do you have on collaboration? And we're going to get ready to hop off. And then I'm going to ask the booby question for you ladies out there. I did want to talk about Mother's Day, but when is Mother's Day?
Sunday.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Sunday.
I did not know Sunday was Mother's Day. That's sad. Okay. Well, today is the day of my mother's passing. She passed on this day right before Mother's Day, and she's a great mom. She's a funny mom, and she raised us. She taught us a lot, and yeah, I had a really awesome mom. So 6 kids, well, 8 children, 6 living. So. And then my father passed when I was, I guess, 2 or 3. I get the ages mixed up. I was either 2 or 3 when my father passed. So my mother raised all of us by herself. So that's quite a challenge. Yeah.
That is a challenge.
Yeah. So, and it's 4 boys and 2 girls. So she had her hands full, and she did it. And the thing that I remember most about my mom, or that stays with me, is her mother's heart. She has such a mother's heart for children. And that's something that's missing for a lot of people is, yeah, you can birth a baby, but that doesn't mean you have that mother's heart. My mom had a mother's heart. And I remember her going on a date when I was a teenager. And she went out on this date and she came back really fast. And I said, well, what are you doing back so fast? And she said, I couldn't go out on this date knowing my children are home.
Oh.
Yeah. She said I couldn't do it knowing my children are home. And so of course I fussed at her. I'm like, Mom, you can go out on a date. It's okay. You know, you can do it. We're fine. You know, so
Are you the youngest? Are you the youngest?
I'm not. I'm the fourth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm the fourth. And so she came back so fast. I was like, it's really odd. You know, what are you doing back here? You just left to go on this. She said, I couldn't do it. So she had him bring her back home. And I'm like, you know, you can go out and enjoy yourself. We're okay. She said, I didn't feel right. I said, we're okay. You go out and enjoy yourself. You should be able to do that. And we're fine. We're not lacking anything in life. So, yeah.
Different kind of normal for her.
Yeah, she just had that heart for her children. She loved her kids. So, Sandra, what you got for us?
I don't have anything else. That was the two things that I wanted to talk about, collaboration and we make ourselves who we are.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you're in the audience, we want to hear from you, your thoughts on collaboration, good or bad, and making yourself who you are, good or bad, because I like the topic of making yourself who you are quite a lot. I really do. It's something that I deal with as a coach and consultant. I like it a lot because I'm working with people that are struggling in that area, especially people that have a lot of excusitis. I can't do this because of this. I deal with a lot of people like that. I actually have a relative that's a drug addict, and his reason for being a drug addict, he says, is because of something that was said to him when he was a child. He is 58 years old. So this is a very, very real topic. It's like, well, so-and-so said this to me when I was a child. You're not a child anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, basically what we talked about. He needs to let that go. That mountain needs to diminish.
Yeah. So absolutely. We thank you guys for tuning in. Here's my question that I need to ask, and this is for the ladies, because the guys would probably be like, well, what in the world? So my friend, I'm not going to say her name, but she's busty, and she has long hair, because this is something I never thought about. So you ladies, let me know. She has long hair, and so she said she wears her hair longer to balance out the boobies. Is that a thing? Is it a thing? Because we're still talking about branding. That's a part of her brand. It's a part of her brand look for her business, is to have lipstick, and then she wears her hair a certain way because she's busty. So when you start thinking about building your persona, I should say, whether it's online or in person, how do you balance that out? How do you balance your looks out? Like, Sandra, do you wear certain colors? Do you ever think about that? Do you think about your hair and presentation and all of that?
I say I wear certain colors. There's certain colors that I don't wear because
like what?
I like orange. I have red hair, so I don't wear orange. I very seldom would wear red. I don't even think I own anything red.
Yeah, because it wouldn't match or it wouldn't look good.
It looks awkward on me. But I do wear a lot of black and purple because those colors seem to go good with my hair color and my skin tone.
Do you match it up with your eyes? Do they go well with your eyes?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all.
I'm a photographer, and definitely there are colors that look great. It's a color theory. Some people in the audience will know that it's color theory. There are colors that accent your eyes, make your eyes brighter. Hi, Angel, make your eyes brighter. So there are certain colors that would really pop you out and pop your eyes out, make your eyes come alive. So on the color wheel, you can get a color wheel at Hobby Lobby. They're probably under $5, and you can spin it and it'll give you, if it's this color, here's the opposite color. That's a complementary color. So it gives you, that's how palettes are born. There's things that complement specific colors. But even in our body build, again, it might be a guy question too, because guys have things about them that they want to accent or not accent. When we start talking about branding, like you might be buff, maybe a guy is buff, right? I did a photo shoot Saturday with a young man that's pretty built. He was pretty formed. And this one particular image he liked, but he said, I don't want it because it makes me look skinny. So what happened was in that particular image, it didn't accent all of his, he's like, it doesn't even look like I've been going to the gym. So those things are important to males and female.
Yeah.
But ladies with boobies, Courtney said, I just cut my hair short and I was wondering the same thing for myself. Courtney, you got to show us your hair. Ladies that are voluptuously blessed, you know, do you wear your hair long and does that balance things out? Or because I think if you don't, the first thing a person will notice about you is the breast.
I think that it's probably maybe not so much balance as it is drawing the eyes away from the area that they don't really want to stand out as much.
Okay.
You know, maybe not so much balance, but maybe the long hair, or sometimes people wear real big earrings. It draws the person. Here I am with my hands and my camera. They're draws. Yeah, I was like, I'm waving my hands around. Draws the person's attention away from the chest and to the, you know, more to their earrings or their face, or gets them more to look at them.
Yeah.
Into them.
Yeah, look at me. Look at me. Quit looking there.
Yeah. Look up here. Up here.
I'm up here. It's funny. Courtney's laughing at me saying voluptuously blessed, but yeah, that's what it is, Courtney. I want to see your hair though. We are going to prepare to get off. We're going to be here every Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So join us. And if you have topics you want us to talk about, let us know. Let us know about that. Sandra, what do you have for us on signing off? Tell us what your website is.
My website is www.fryandcomp. That's comp.com.
Yeah. Hey, so that leads me to a question. Do you have to put www in today?
You know, I don't
like if I go type your website, can I just put Fry and?
I don't know the answer to that. You know that?
Oh.
I know that. I always type it. Have it. Out of you know, there we go again, showing my age.
That's funny. I don't know if you have to. I don't know if you have
something to ask.
Yeah, we need
who's younger. They might know. Somebody who's younger than me.
Audience, do you have to put www or can you just type the domain name? Courtney said no, you can omit that. You don't need.
Oh, wow. Okay. Did not know that. I always type it. I always type it.
When we get off, go try to type it and see if it works for you. But we're going to sign off again. I am NJ Stevenson. I'm at njstevenson.com, and that's Stevenson with a V. That's where I provide business and project management. I also provide training for virtual service providers, which includes virtual assistants and other online providers. So I provide support there. Oh, Deanna said not in Chrome. What about other browsers then? Like if you're doing Firefox, Safari, Edge, do you need the www, or is it just Chrome that doesn't need www? Let us know. I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that.
Never type it, and I'm a Chrome person, so my primary browser is Chrome. So I don't. Yeah.
I go to Chrome too all the time.
Yeah. So and yeah, we'll see you guys later. Keep the comments coming here and let us know any topics that you want to discuss. We're also going to be bringing on some guests. So if you have a specific topic that you would like to discuss on camera with us, we are inviting you to contact me or contact Sandra, either one. And let's see if we can collaborate. Let's see if we can do that. Hi, Amanda. We're about to get off. We have been on for, whoa, what, 50 minutes?
Almost an hour.
Yeah. So it's not
like we say 20 to 30 minutes. It was only going to be 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Look, we'll just keep talking and you will all still be here at noon.
That's funny. So we're going to hop off. We thank you all for joining us, and then hope that you'll join us every week at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Chat with NJ. All right, guys. See you later.
Bye.